I found a lot of times when I was working with text or blocks or even XREFs, I would want that text object or block to align with another object, whether it was a polyline or a line or something similar to that. And as I began to think about it, all of these objects, XREFs, blocks, text, mtext, all of them have a built-in base of rotation with their attachment point. Wouldn't it be great if we had a tool that could take advantage of that, and thereby I could rotate multiple objects to align with other objects all at once, using that base of rotation that's built into the object? Well, that's what we have with our IMAutoCAD Solutions tool called Rotate by Insertion Point. So I'm going to select this tool, and it will ask me to select the objects to rotate. Again, the objects to rotate will be ones that already have some type of attachment or insertion point kind of built into the object. So I'll select this block and these two text objects. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and press enter. And notice the different options that we have at the command line, or of course from our dynamic input. To rotate the objects, we can of course by default select the object to rotate or use the angle to apply the rotation from. We can type an absolute rotation value in, thereby having all of the objects set to an absolute rotation angle of something similar. We can set all of the objects to having a relative rotation. In other words, what they're currently rotated to, add or subtract this amount of decimal degrees or whatever other units you may be using. Or we can take advantage of the twist angle. Notice that right now our view is twisted, so we can take advantage of that and just have the text always align horizontal to the view. So let's first start off by just selecting this line object, and all the text as well as the blocks align with that object. And notice that they're all using that attachment point, that insertion point, that base of rotation to accomplish that. Go ahead and hit escape. I'm going to press enter again to fire the IMRotateByInsertion point command, and we're going to select the two text objects. I'm going to press enter, and this time I'm going to say use the twist of the view to set the rotation of the text. When I do that, notice that they rotate and that they're horizontal now to the view. So we have those two different options. We talked a little bit about the relative angle. Now these are not at 0 degrees. They're using whatever the view twist is at. In fact, if I selected the text, right click and chose properties, we can see that the rotation is somewhere around 330 degrees or negative 30 degrees, something similar to that. So if I close this down and I went back to the rotation by insertion point command and selected both of those text objects and pressed enter, I can say I want to apply a relative additional angle to it. That rotation angle is 45 degrees. So that's not an absolute value. If I right click and chose properties for these objects, you'll see that their rotation is actually 15 degrees, but it took what they were currently set at and added 45 degrees to their rotation. So again, and we didn't have to set a base of rotation, it simply used those objects' insertion points to accomplish that.